I'm going to play the song. This is the creation song, Gurialda, or the Rainbow Serpent. Call it whatever you want to. Hope you like it. Gurialda.
There is a rock in the middle of Australia called Uluru that I have dubbed the most interesting rock in the world because it is a mystery to geologists and unlike any structure in the world. The key to unlocking this strange rock is found in the legend of the Rainbow Serpent of Australia, which was formed by a force that creates a memory resistance, or Memristance, in a circuit called a Memristor. To unpack the Memristor effectively, we need to know how Leon Chua first theorized there was a memristive force. The answer is actually pretty simple and intuitive. Chua put down on paper the four basic elements of electricity, those being current, voltage, charge, and flux. Then he oriented them according to their corresponding properties, and then assigned the circuit element created by these two junctions acting together. Voltage and current created resistance. Voltage and charge created capacitance. Current and flux created inductance. And most importantly, Leon Chua realized that flux and charge must have its own circuit property, and dubbed it Memristance for the attributes of memory and resistance. The properties of Memristance aren't necessarily simple, but some of the big parts are easily understood, such as that the Memristor will form a double scroll pattern as a function of moving back and forth between charge and flux. This Memristor double scroll pattern is a form of alternating memory, and that alternating scroll is what formed over Australia, and why the stories of the serpent say it was massive. The serpent began on the east, all the way out at the Fiji Islands, which is why they say the serpent came from the ocean and returned to the ocean, and is also why it shows a rotation in the surface around the Fiji Islands. This is the rotation point of the memristive scroll on the east coast. Because the memristive scroll is a type of memory, the shape of that scroll can change. In this case, the match for this scroll looks like this. Some legends say that the serpent is male, while others say it was female, and yet others don't assign a sex. This is a representation that the snake is flux. It fluxes between electricity and magnetism, and between having a negative polarity and a positive polarity. The reason the surface of the Australian continent looks like it does is because the surface experienced massive flux and charge, leaving the red burned surface we see, and why the country has such massive deserts. In the middle of these deserts, created by the memristive double scroll pattern, is this rock called Uluru. This was the neutral point between the two scrolls. See these lines? You have to follow these lines which point at 310 degrees. And when you do that, you'll see that first the line splits the Greater and Lesser Sunda Islands, and is why there is a channel here. When we follow this to the Middle East, we find ourselves at the neutral zone between the near impact and the Red Sea discharge. The Earth was acting like a negative charge, then a neutral charge, and then a positive discharge. As the voltage in the system increased, the charge was distributed by the memristor between the capacitor and the inductor, and as it went back and forth between the sky and the ground, it left the surface in flux everywhere, except in the neutral middle. The memristor of the resistor of our fractal Earth. Don't forget to leave me your thoughts in the comments down below. Peace out, everybody.